Alice had always dreamed of living in a peaceful place, where she could walk the streets without rushing and breathe in a different kind of air. So when the opportunity came for her to transfer to a bank branch in a coastal town, she didn't hesitate. At 30 years old, single and independent, she was ready to start a new chapter. It was in a local supermarket, on an ordinary afternoon, that she met Tom. He was friendly, with a shy smile and a kindness that was impossible to miss. 10 years younger than Alice, he worked in the grocery department and struck up a conversation when she asked for some bread. That brief chat turned into exchanged glances, then casual meetings that felt a little too coincidental to be random. Before long, they were scheduling coffee dates, walking on the beach, and sharing stories about their lives. The age gap was never an issue for either of them. They understood each other, had fun together, supported one another. It was simple, it was good. And that was enough. Alice and Tom soon started dating. She was more financially stable, but she never used that to assert dominance. He, in turn, showed maturity and independence, having moved out of his parents' home to work and support himself. They soon began living together. From the start, their household routine was balanced, both cooked, cleaned, and shared responsibilities naturally. Tom knew how to manage on his own, he had learned the hard way when he first lived alone. He had also become an excellent cook, having discovered a love for trying new recipes out of necessity. For them, everything was flowing smoothly, but on his family's side, things weren't so simple. Some relatives disapproved of how well the couple got along and started spreading rumors to his mother. Lisa, Tom's mother, was extremely controlling and easily swayed by family opinions. She had raised him like a prince, never letting him wash a single dish, buying all his clothes, and expecting him to always agree with her and follow her lead. When she found out he was cooking, sharing chores with his girlfriend, and that she earned more than him, she turned up her nose. Lisa complained, saying her son was starving and that Alice wasn't taking care of him like a real wife should. To her, Alice was lazy and taking advantage of him. As if she wasn't good enough. Still, Alice didn't let it get to her and tried to keep the peace. She encouraged Tom to call and visit his mother often, and even helped buy groceries to take when they traveled to visit her. Alice believed staying in touch with family was very important. In the first few months, Alice pretended not to notice the sideways glances, the whispered remarks, the tone laced with judgment. She always tried to brush things off, after all, she was there for her husband. During visits to Lisa's house, Alice was always polite and respectful, but there was no closeness between her and her mother-in-law. Her mere presence seemed to bother Lisa. Nothing was ever good enough. Lisa was cordial in front of her son, but made a point of ignoring or belittling Alice whenever she could. Tom's sister didn't like Alice either. She lived in the same town as the couple and often called their mother to stir up even more drama. Tom noticed the comments and disapproval from his family, but refused to listen. He knew who Alice was and how much effort she put into everything. 2 years after that first meeting at the supermarket, Tom and Alice decided to get married. They chose a beautiful beach, with a golden sunset and a simple ceremony full of love. They wanted to celebrate what they had built together, with authenticity and lightness. Tom's family didn't take the news well. There were cruel comments, suggestions that Alice was rushing things, that she was after something, or even that she was taking advantage of his innocence. Lisa didn't bother to hide her disapproval. She and other family members even threatened to boycott the wedding. Alice felt sad for Tom. He was heartbroken at first, but then furious. It was pure disrespect toward his choice. He argued with his mother and the others. He said they weren't just insulting Alice, they were insulting him. After all, Alice's family would be there, but he would be left without one. He told them if they didn't attend the wedding, he'd forget they were family and never want anything to do with them again. The couple stood firm. On the wedding day, both families showed up. Despite the tension in the air, it was an unforgettable day. Tom's family realized he was serious and decided it was better to be present. The newlyweds promised to walk through life together, regardless of outside opinions. 6 years had passed since they met. 4 years of marriage. Their love was still strong, and things had improved with most of Tom's family, but the relationship with his mother only grew more strained. Alice remained polite and tried to keep the peace, but the wear and tear was starting to show. Everyone has a limit. Then one day, during a visit to Lisa's house, a minor disagreement between mother and son escalated. Tom got annoyed over something small, and tensions flared. That's when Lisa, consumed by anger, tried to hurt him by saying, "If you hadn't married her, you'd be so much better off. Your life would be so much better. She's changed you. Now you don't listen to anything I say. You only listen to your wife. She's the problem." Alice, who was in the kitchen and heard everything, froze. Years of patience and goodwill crumbled in that moment. She had nothing to do with the argument, but somehow, she always ended up being the one blamed. Rage bubbled inside her. She was truly exhausted from trying to coexist with someone who couldn't stand being challenged. She took a deep breath, gathered her things, and when they got home, she told Tom, "I'm not going back there." At first, Tom understood. He was also tired of the criticism, the judgment, the hostility. He agreed with the distance and started visiting his mother alone. But as the months went by, Tom's mother began to feel Alice's absence. She noticed that, since Alice no longer came over, Tom started visiting less. He didn't call as often, and he no longer brought supplies like he used to. Eventually, she realized that her behavior toward Alice had driven Tom away and changed the way he acted. Where they once visited on every holiday, now he came only every 3 or 6 months. And when he did, he stayed briefly, always in a hurry to get back home to his wife. Seeing the consequences of her actions, Lisa tried to make amends and reconnect with Alice. That's when Tom began to ask again. "She keeps asking about you. Can't you just come by for a little while? Maybe on special occasions?" Alice stood her ground. She had spent 6 years trying to build a good relationship with his mother. She had reached her limit and didn't want to try again. She explained to Tom that, as a son, he had every right, and even a duty, to maintain a relationship with his mother. But as a daughter-in-law, she had already gone far beyond the boundaries of tolerance. She was tired of being rejected, criticized, and disrespected. "I already see her at family birthdays, in neutral spaces, that's more than enough. But I won't step foot in her house again, Tom. For me. For my peace." He understood. Sometimes he asked again. But deep down, he knew she was right. It's been 10 years of marriage. Alice and Tom are still together, strong as ever. They've overcome prejudice, family obstacles, and hurtful stares. They built a home based on respect, partnership, and honesty. But the distance caused by Lisa remains. Alice chose to step back and never changed her mind. Not out of pride, but for her own sanity. For self-care. And Tom respects Alice's decision. Even though she knows he would love for her to go back to visiting his mother's house, she simply doesn't want to. And now, tell me, do you think Alice was wrong for refusing to go back to her mother-in-law's house? Or did she do the right thing by stepping away to protect her peace? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to know what you think about this. If this story kept you hooked from beginning to end, don't forget to leave a like, because that really helps the channel keep bringing more stories like this. And of course, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that red button below, turn on the notification bell, and come be part of our community. Oh, and if you know someone going through a similar situation, share this video with them. It might just help. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.